All right, guys, take care.
All right.
I would, like, take offense to that and stuff, but, like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I'm not like the butthead of radio, because that would make me like a dillweed.
The Beavis and Butthead of radio, huh?
Well, we haven't been called that one yet, I guess. I like Toxic Twins myself. That one.
Carol was getting very upset.
Yeah.
That we were talking about John Glenn.
Yes.
Because I guess she had to figure that we were just goofing on John Glenn. For the sake of goofing on John Glenn.
No, the whole space shuttle thing that we all just watched an hour ago is a complete joke, is what it is.
Don't people understand what that is? It was a publicity stunt.
That's all it is.
It was a big commercial for NASA.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's like a ratings sweep thing for NASA.
Yeah. What do you think? It's cute to send a 77-year-old guy into space under the guise that it's to see what the elderly act like in space? Let's put the elderly in Battlefield, too. See what they act like in battle.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's a big publicity thing for NASA.
It's a way to spark some interest in the program. Because,
that's it.
Quite honestly, let's all think here. When was the last time we sat around and watched the space shuttle take off?
Everyone got roped in and watched it. They knew everyone was going to watch it, so what did they have? A bunch of huge money sponsors had their shuttle commercials all ready in the can, and were broadcasting them during the countdown and the launch.
Mm-hmm. They made a bloody fortune.
Of course.
On tourism, funding for the space program now.
So I'm supposed to sit here with a tear in my eye, a nostalgic tear in my eye, because Walter Cronkite is dragged out of retirement to mumble through the launch? And we're not supposed to notice? We're supposed to talk about it like, oh, wow, it's great. They got Walter because he was there for the first launch of John Glenn. And we're supposed to sit there like, oh, this is so cool? The guy couldn't talk.
Right.
You don't drag a guy out of retirement and he sits there mumbling at the table.
And he's playing with his little Lego set.
I'm not going to sit and make believe that this is all wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a big publicity stunt.
Of course it is. Now, if you saw John Glenn in space in 1962, that's great. You have that memory. It's cool. You don't need to relive it by setting him up at 77 years old.
That's all.
That's all we're trying to say.
There's a bunch of other people that could have gone on the shuttle.
Actually,
done some good.
They've bumped a lot of people that have been working their whole lives to go up into space so they could make room for John Glenn.
Yeah.
You've heard about the lady astronaut by now.
Yes.
She wasn't allowed to go up a long time ago, and now she's pretty much as old as John Glenn and as fit as John Glenn. She's like, well, you guys bumped me because you didn't want women in space way back when. Well, what about me? I'll test the aging on a body up in space.
He had his shot in space. It was wonderful. American hero. There are other younger astronauts that want time in space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ridiculous that everybody gets all revved up over this, and it amounts to nothing more than a publicity stunt for NASA.
We got roped in.
Name the last shuttle crew that went up. Go ahead.
Not one person out there could do it.
You can't remember the last shuttle crew. They've been launching these things to no audience. People watching Lucy reruns
forever
instead of shuttle launches.
You know, the media could make a big deal about a plane taking off at LaGuardia at this point. If they said tomorrow that Walter Cronkite was going to be, a pilot on one of these jets, it would be all over TV, and we would go down to LaGuardia to check it out. 1998
is going to go down as the year of bull.
S.
Yeah. It's the year, all the records with baseball and stuff, and even Sammy Sosa, who didn't set the record, he's got to be acknowledged. El Duque needs a parade. John Glenn needs a huge audience to watch him go back into space. Everyone's making up these fake, feel-good things.
And Anthony, let me bring this point up. Haven't we landed on the moon a few times?
Yeah.
And now we're just all thrilled and happy that a 77-year-old guy could go back into space on a shuttle?
At this point, I hope a 77-year-old guy can go into space.
Know what that's like? Someone hitting 20 homers next year in the National League and everyone cheering.
And everyone's cheering about it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of all these staged feel-good things that are being pushed in front of us that we're supposed to get a nostalgic tear for or jump for joy for and not mock and goof on and call for what they really are.
There you go.
It takes away from the real things that are going on in the world. It's a distraction. When President Clinton, I watched him at the Kennedy Space Center.
He was shedding a tear,
after the launch.
He was very emotional.
Shedding a tear, talking about pride and everything. And I'm sitting there laughing, going, does anybody remember this guy shoved a cigar in a woman in the Oval Office? Is anyone looking at this guy and not thinking that?
And why do you think he was actually crying, Anthony?
Because he wasn't on that shuttle, getting his ass away from Hillary.
Exactly.
I'm not falling for any of this stuff.
No.
That's it.
There you go. Some commentary from Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, we're the Beavis and Butthead radio.
John Glenn, I bet he pooped his pants. Yeah. He left a big load on the booster rocket. Yeah. Big load of crap.
Yeah, that's because that's all we do.
That's all we do here.
Just
in the afternoons. Yes, great. All right, the fax line is 212-957-WNEW. The phone line, 212-757-1027.
You farted.
On the way, some Billy Idol and Rush next. More fart humor on the way, because we don't have brains.
Yeah. Yes, rock. Yeah.
You're listening to the Beavis and Butthead of radio.
As dubbed by Carol Miller.
Yes. Thank you, Carol. The Rock of New York, 102.7 WNEW. 102.7 WNEW, The Rock of New York, Eve 6 Inside Out. Billy Idol in there and Rush 2. Don't forget, it's another NEW world premiere broadcast. A new release from Rush, different stages, recorded live over the last 2 tours. We're going to do that next Wednesday for you at midnight right here on The Rock of New York, NEW. It's Opie and Anthony. And we're full of angst today.
Well, not any more than usual.
Well, we're always full of angst.
Yeah.
It's just a good way to do a radio show, actually.
You can't be content. You can't be happy. The second you're happy and content, you're out of it.
That's true.
Out of the game.
Well,
question everything.
Everyone saw the space shuttle launch, and we just got the audio carted up of Walter Cronkite playing with the Lego set. We're going to play that for you in a little while and comment on it.
Yeah, there was a little hold in the launch a couple of times, and Walter took that moment to pull out the little toy shuttle and explain the launch. I didn't understand a word he was saying.
No.
I have a pretty good grasp on the space program, shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he was talking about.
Well, in case you missed it, we'll play it for you in a bit.
Thank you very much. Walter Cronkite live here at Kennedy Space Center as the tech offensive shows we cannot win the Vietnam War.
He didn't say much, actually.
No, he sat there, and the CNN guys were yapping back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we got a pile of faxes. People want to hear Bob Hope in space from yesterday.
Well, now that would be putting an older American in space and getting entertainment at the same time.
Yeah, because he would do some monologue.
He'd do his shtick.
Really? Nice.
Well, what do we got there?
Oh, we're just making some deals behind the scenes.
I see that.
Okay. I love Pepsi. All right. Is that Plugola?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Not for that.
You sure?
No, I don't know.
I was just offered a threesome if I said that, so.
A threesome?
Yeah.
Who are the lucky guys?
You got me. Shut up. People want to hear Bob Hope in space.
All right.
Are you done?
Yeah, let's hear Bob.
Hey, I gotta tell you, this is Bob. Where the hell's the Grim Reaper Hope? It's great to be here on the space shuttle. Hey, that payload section's big enough for Charo's ass, isn't it? How about that Brooke Shields? Hey, my eyes are bleeding. Hey, is that a sunset or blood on my corneas? I can't tell. But I gotta tell you, hey, how about that zero gravity, huh? Hey, my ball sack's bouncing around like a hippity hop. It's like I got a pound of melted Turkish taffy in my underwear. Hey, John Glenn, pass the Viagra. I got to take a leak. Can't even leak without Viagra. My prostate looks like the surface of the moon. Ouch. Hey, where's Susan Anton? Hey, me and Bing are making a new film, On the Road to the Cemetery. Hey, from the Space Shuttle Live, I want to say hi to my wife of 70 years, Dolores. I don't want to say she's dry, but, boy, that'd be a tough re-entry. She couldn't get wet in the rainforest. Hey, John, is that a black hole? I haven't seen a black hole since I showered with Sammy Davis Jr. Hey, my eyes look like 2 flaming meteors. I don't want to say my eyes are shot, but one time in Vegas, I went down on Sinatra's toupee. I thought it was Dolores, my wife. Hey, what's this mission control? I'm still working on bowel control. My roids are hanging like tapestry. Hey, I gotta go, but you've been great on the space shuttle. Thank you. Roger, mission control. Get me out of here. That's not an umbilical.
The Rock of New York, 102.7 WNEW, the latest from the Black Crowes. That's Kicking My Heart Around. The new CD's going to be called By Your Side. Good afternoon. It's Opie. It's Anthony.
Hello.
And we are rocking and rolling once again today. I'm kind of ticked off at the mayor again.
Again or still?
Well, the mayor wants to catch the human fly. The guy that base jumped from the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building. Everyone's talking about it all over town. And he wants to catch him, and he's putting the whole police force, on the case. And when they find him, they'll arrest him. But I just don't like this quote here. Giuliani sounded equally peeved, saying, I know it gets a great deal of attention, and it's really a stupid and jerky thing. It's a very dangerous thing to do, not only for him, but for the people below him. How dangerous is it really for the people below him?
Let's see, how many people have been killed by parachutists falling from buildings?
In recent years, not many.
How many people have been killed by other assorted items falling from buildings?
Exactly. It's a little hypocritical, don't you think? I think more people die from things falling from buildings than the human fly falling from the sky. Plus the fact, there was a report in the paper yesterday, 28 deaths because of cabs last year. And 26,800 people injured by taxi cabs. And the mayor is worried about the human fly.
And balloons for the Thanksgiving Day parade.
And balloons.
Yeah.
He's worried about the human fly. He's worried about our Thanksgiving Day balloons.
Bubble gum on the sidewalks. Don't forget that.
Worried about the bubble gum on the sidewalks. How many people were injured by Thanksgiving Day parade balloons in the last 30 years, Anthony?
One.
Thank you.
That's one too many.
How many people injured by cabs last year alone, Anthony?
26,000.
800 and some odd people.
Let's do the math.
So, I just hate hypocrisy.
Mayor McCheese. He's a blast.
I just hate hypocrisy. It's all over this fine world of ours.
Yeah.
So
somebody painted a couple of swastikas on his house.
Yeah, I saw that.
See that?
That's not cool, obviously.
Got in trouble for that. And also, he's making a cameo on The Guiding Light. He's playing himself, and he'll marry two of the soap's main characters. Harley Davidson Cooper.
I think that's more dangerous than the human fly floating around the city. Him making appearances on soap operas.
Yeah, and Philip Spaulding. I love soap opera names. My name is Brant. Brant Chase. I wonder what goes on The Guiding Light. I'm sure it's a very wholesome show with no sex ever going on.
Oh, never.
Right? He wouldn't align himself with something so gutter-like.
Yeah.
Like strip joints. Oh, that's right. He closed those down.
Yeah, and someone wants to hear the telemarketer call that we did late last night in the show.
Oh, my God. Which one was that? What? I hope it's the one where they were calling for new cabinets.
Oh, you want that one?
I like that one.
Okay, we can play that. 102.7 WNEW, The Rock of New York. It's Opie. It's Anthony. And Anthony, CNN has just showed John Glenn's takeoff for the 20th time.
All right.
Godspeed, Johnny.
Good luck to you, Johnny.
Godspeed, Johnny.
Seems they've had a little anomaly aboard the space shuttle, Opie.
Anomaly? What's that?
Well, it seems like a small door at the base of the tail section has come loose.
Whoops.
Yes, the door that houses the chute that comes out and stabilizes the shuttle on the runway after it lands.
So, Anthony, they're going to discuss this fact on CNN for the next 3 hours.
3 hours.
Could you sum it up in 10 seconds what's going to happen?
Should be fine.
Everything's going to be fine, right?
Everything will be dandy. Usually it's used, the chute, to hold the shuttle straight on heavy crosswinds down the runway.
All right, so don't bother tuning in CNN for the next 3 hours as they discuss that.
That was a reverse angle of the liftoff.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a little different, actually.
Oh, launch gantry shot. There he goes again. Good luck, Johnny.
Godspeed, Johnny.
Godspeed, Johnny.
I want CNN to report the real important stuff, like, report the first time he takes a dump in space.
Everyone wants to know.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
But what about Walter Cronkite?
Ooh. So Walter Cronkite, who was there during John's first flight into space.
Godspeed, Johnny.
Godspeed to you, Johnny. Godspeed. He had to be there, Walter, to call it, the play-by-play. And during the holds in the countdown, the first hold, seems to be a switch problem, computer switch problem. Plenty of redundancies on the shuttle, Opie. If I may pull out my model here for the audience. See, here in the booster section, let me pull this peel away for you and take my pointer.
Right
here,
yes,
there's a box. Now, let me take the cover off this. Do you see it?
Okay,
This is where the switch was located. But everything's fine now.
Okay.
So they were able to count down again from 9 minutes. Then they had to hold it 5 minutes because the Slappy and Wappy radio show in Orlando, I think, had a flyover.
You think it's going to be a radio stunt?
Some airplanes got into the airspace.
Yeah.
The restricted airspace.
And they said they were Skyriders.
Yeah, Skyriders.
Like those supposed to be within 10, 20 miles of the liftoff, and they were Skyriders.
I'm sure it's like, hey, listen to Sticks Franklin, weekday afternoons on Rock 98.
Actually, I think they were trying to write Baba Booey in the sky.
Yeah. Here's the call you'll hear tomorrow.
Yeah, Howard?
Yeah.
I tried flying my plane over the shuttle, and people just think it was Bob that did it. But I was trying to write Baba Booey.
And they chased me out before I could finish?
Yeah, before I knew it, an F-16 had shot a missile in my ass, and I plummeted to the earth. But, it's for you. You're the king.
Get out of here, moron.
So Walter Cronkite was supposed to do the play-by-play.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy could call a play-by-play for a T-ball game at this point. I mean, what was going on? And they're all staring at him, right?
Oh, it was frightening.
It was frightening, and I just wish the CNN guys would take over. But they're acting like it was very interesting what Walter Cronkite had to say.
At one point, my own grandfather was running numbers for the mob back in the 40s. And then after a while, he was just content sitting on his chair watching the Mets lose. There's a certain time where you just can't go back and do what you used to do. And Walter Cronkite doing this, it was kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone found it all cute and nice, but I thought it was pretty pathetic.
You're like egging him on, like, come on, get the next word out, Walter.
At one point, I was scared. I thought he was going to pull out his stuff. He was just sitting back in his chair and leaning. And
well, everyone's talking over him. Yeah. They had the CNN table out there by the launch site, and everyone's just talking back and forth over Walter. And at one point, he just leaned back in his chair. I thought he was going to fall backwards. And then we thought he was just going to pull it out and start working it.
Well, since I'm not doing anything, I've got a booster rocket in my pants.
Amen on the John Glenn comments, but you missed the real reason he's back in space. Political payoff for running interference on the Clinton campaign fund scandal. An article from today's Slate follows. Okay, can't wait to read the article.
Little conspiracy theory there.
All right, do you want to play the audio of Walter Cronkite breaking out his Lego space shuttle model?
Yeah, let's hear a little Waldo Cronkite.
Okay, so he's sitting there with the CNN guys, and he pulls out this Lego model.
And he's talking about it like it's the first time there's ever been a shuttle launch.
He's explaining, yes, like this is the first time this has ever happened in the history of the space program. Let's take a listen.
You take those models and put them up here and show what's going to happen in the launch profile immediately after the engine start. If the countdown is picked up, we'll just drop this.
Sure, go right ahead, Walter.
We'll drop it.
Go ahead, Grandpa.
Come on, Walter.
But it goes about like this. At T minus 10 seconds, the command go for main engine start. And then T minus 6 seconds, these three main engines here at the base or the rear of the orbital spacecraft, they ignite. Now, they've got to reach 90% of their thrust by T-2, or there's an automatic shutdown. At T0, that's the launch time, the solid rocket boosters here on the side.
Isn't this what happens every space shuttle mission?
Onboard computers command to hold down bolts there to be blown, and that launches the thing into beginning its mission. And
that's how they do it.
There's no turning back.
140 million horsepower.
Yes.
It's hard to turn it around.
Yep. 7 million pounds of thrust.
Like when I get pruned.
Now,
and there you go. Walter Cronkite explained exactly what we were going to see, even though we've all seen probably 100 space shuttles take off. Actually, I thought they were going to use a slingshot this time, Anthony.
A big catapult.
I'm glad he explained it to us this time.
Well, this was a diversion, a non-event that they tried to make into a big event. And just to divert us. Once again, another happy, warm, fuzzy feeling we're supposed to get from this, like we were from the home run record and all the other things that they put in front of you. The ticker tape parades. Everyone's got to get a ticker tape parade. Watch.
He's going to get it.
John Glenn, here he is in the Canyon of Heroes once again. John Glenn.
It's getting to the point where, like, the hot dog guy, if he gives you a hot dog with the right stuff on it, he's going to get it.
Canyon of Heroes, here he is. Wak Mao.
Oh, Anthony? CNN showing the launch of John Glenn's space shuttle for the 25th time.
All right.
Godspeed, Johnny.
Good luck to you, Johnny.
The Rock of New York, 102.7 WNEW, Nirvana. Unplugged this time around. It's Opie and Anthony. Anthony, I got some very good news for you.
Yeah.
You know how we've been keeping track of our CD sales here in New York?
Yes.
We have a CD out. It's called Opie and Anthony's Demented World. We've sold over 40,000 copies all over the country.
And that's something.
But we haven't sold a lot in New York, and we'll admit that here.
Yeah.
But we've been making a huge push to increase CD sales.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to our record company, Restaurant Records. We've talked to the distributor, got everyone on the case, and they've been going full force to make sure those CDs are all over New York so you guys can buy them.
Right.
It's been a major problem. We've been on them for the last, 2 months?
We've talked about it a couple of times, yes. We had them on the air, had the distributor on the air, record company, really pounded the issue home that we've gotten emails and phone calls from people that want to pick up the CD.
Mm-hmm.
They go into the stores in New York and cannot find the CD.
And the reviews on the CD have been fantastic, so it's not a problem of the CD sucking.
Right.
And we've been making a tremendous push forward with this project.
Yes, Opie.
Are you ready to find out how many CDs we have sold this week in New York, Anthony?
You mean it finally worked?
Are you ready? Are you excited?
Finally worked. We're getting some numbers in New York, the market we're in.
Okay.
They actually stocked some stores so people could find this thing.
Drum roll, please. Now, in the past, we've sold 24 a week, 12, 15.
Which is ridiculous.
Mostly in the teens.
Last time it was like, yeah, we sold 12. I was like, 12,000? All right. That's a good start. It's like, no, 12.
12. All right.
So it's got to be up there now.
All right, drum roll, please.
All right.
Opie and Anthony's Demented World CD in the past week has sold 1 copy. 1 effing copy! One CD was sold.
1 CD.
1. We reach 1 million people a week. We sold 1 CD.
1.
1.
What?
1. 1. You know what that means? We got to restock the shelves. They found the only CD that was out there. It's like, where's Waldo? Where's Opie and Anthony's Demented World CD? They found it.
When will the record company understand this isn't it isn't a scavenger hunt? It's not a game to make it difficult for people to find it.
1 CD.
1 CD. 1.
We are selling more copies of our Demented World CD in cities across America that have never heard of us.
That is pathetic.
So there you go. There you have it.
We get record companies that listen to us, right?
Yeah.
Columbia, Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have a real record company, please?
We're begging you.
Get this damn Restaurant Records out of our hair. Obviously, they don't want to work with us.
Yeah. I call them every week. Every single week, seeing what's going on with our little project. Whew. And because of my efforts, we sold 1 CD this week.
1 CD. Thank God you pounded them.
1 CD.
And pestered them, or we wouldn't have sold any.
Yeah. If you think we're lying, I know we have a lot of record stores that listen to us. Look it up for yourself on SoundScan.
1 CD.
And see how many Opie and Anthony's Demented World CDs sold this week in New York.
That's good, because next week we only have to sell 2 to increase sales by 100%.
There you go.
Yeah, good way to look at it.
I believe you could get a copy of our Demented World CD through the WNEW website. I think you got to wait about 5 months, though, to get it.
Yeah.
We have the latest from the Goo Goo Dolls on the way and some Bruce Springsteen. Stay there. It's the Goo Goo Dolls with Slide on the Rock of New York, 102.7 WNEW. You're hanging with Opie and Anthony. Now, tomorrow we start the evolution of rock, of the Rock of New York.
Yes.
So we're not going to be able to talk too much tomorrow.
No, we're not, Opie.
Actually, we're not going to be able to talk much for the next 10 days.
Yeah. It's not easy for us to not talk.
They're going to put muzzles on us for the next 10 days. But it is a very cool special.
We'll still be here.
We got to hear some previews of what you guys are going to hear, and it sounds really, really cool. A lot of people around here have put many, many hours into the special, and you will enjoy it.
And we'll be here to take phone calls and emails.
Yeah, we'll be here to push some buttons, so...
We'll goof around with you, off the air.
Off the air, yes. We'll do our little radio show for you on the phones tomorrow.
Private, we'll pop all 10 lines and do the show for 10 people at a clip.
That's a good idea. Might be more listeners, actually. Yeah. All right. So because of that, we got to get through the bits of the week and stuff, because we really won't be able to do one of our Wild FU Friday shows tomorrow. Mm. And we got the runner-up bit of the week right here. The Randy and Claire air check.
Randy and Claire. This was, we found a box of tapes, audition tapes, and they called air checks that other DJs send to radio stations they want a job at. And people want our job, the Opie and Anthony show. They want to take this time slot from us. And they sent in a bunch of tapes. We went through the tapes and found some of the talent that would be here. Maybe if we got fired or left or something happened and somebody else was in this time slot.
Yeah, so we took a listen to Randy and Claire's tape. They're like a cute little couple. I think they want to have the rouge that they're actually married on the air and stuff. It's like a he said, she said show.
Regis and Kathy Lee kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, the first part of this tape, you don't even understand what they're saying. And then at the end, Claire decides to sing this monkey song. So take a listen now. And after this, we'll play you the phone call when we actually called Randy, but got Claire on the phone.
This is a perfect example of the cutesy couple radio. They don't have anything to say, so they cover it up with clever songs and sound effects like bells and whistles. But in between, you realize they have nothing to say.
Yeah, so here it is. Randy and Claire. They're gunning for our jobs.